Thank you for staying with the Hello Chambers. And my guest today is a member of the Nigerian Senate. His name is Senator Yunus Akintunde, and he is the lawmaker representing Oyo Central Senatorial District. It's good to have you in our studio today, Senator.
Good morning.
Good morning. Well, the Senate is moving to enforce tougher disciplinary measures against erring members, and that's according to a bill introduced by Senator Kakashehu during the week by enforcing stringent penalties on erring members. Why do you think this has become expedient?
I think what he is saying is that we should go strictly by the provision of our Red Book. That is the Senate rules book. It's not that we are not creating new law. We are not giving anybody strict penalty for misbehavior. What he's saying is that, okay, we have to be strict. We have to go in line with the dictates of the rule of the Senate. So it's a statement on the floor of the Senate was not particularly directed to anybody or any action. It's just reminding us that we have to go by the rule of every organization in the world have their own rules. If you belong to professional bodies, like MBA, NUG, and so on, you have your guidelines. You have your professional guidelines and rules. The same thing the Senate has its own. And what Senator Kakashehu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, is saying that it's not saying we should write new rules that will be guiding us, but we have to be properly guided and adequately guided as well by the rules of the Senate.
So are you saying him introducing this amendment now is like a fallout from the judgment of the Justice Binta Nyako when she faulted the rules of the guiding the National Assembly of being too ambiguous and overreaching?
You could see that everybody is entitled to his or her opinion. The judge did not in any way condemn the rule, and she's not competent to do that. What she said was that in her own opinion, these rules, we made the rules for the senators, not for the judges. What she said was that, okay, these rules too that's how she said it clearly, that in her own opinion, and that's her own opinion. She is not a senator. We made the rules for the senators, not for the judges, not for the ministers. So if they have their own rules in their courtroom, I will not be competent to say the rules are not in order. If any part of the rule contravenes any section of the law, she's competent enough to give judgment on that. But that these rules are stringent, if we resolve on our own, look at the traders. The sawmillers, they might say you don't have to work on our meeting days. That's their own rule. If you work on a meeting day, we will seize your sawmill machine. That's their own rule. I can't stand up as a senator and say, why should you make that rule? The rule is meant for them. The same thing, these rules are meant for the senators. And that's our own Red Book. And all of us agreed to follow it. It's only when the rules run contrary to the provision of the law, that is Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that anybody has right to say, okay, I can challenge it. If you listen very clearly, she said that by the provision of the rules of the Senate, that the Senate President has the right to allocate seats to senators, and you cannot speak from a seat that has not been allocated to you. That's the provision, part of the provision of the Senate rule.
Let's talk about the public hearing on the constitution review process, which is ongoing in geopolitical zones across the country. How informed are Nigerians about this ongoing process and, enabling them to make their own input into the constitution?
There is no community in Nigeria as of today that doesn't have at least a representative in the State House of Assembly, at least a representative in the National Assembly, either in the House of Rep or in the Senate. Unless you are not a Nigerian, you must belong to a section that must have been represented either in the State House of Assembly, in the House of Rep or in the Senate. That's number one. Number two, the National Assembly puts public notice on that, look, there will be constitutional review. Southwest these days, and the location. When they put you on notice, it's for you to know that they have put you on notice. If truly you are interested in what is going on in this country, you will follow what public announcement says. Even by law, once I put you on notice, on public notice, if you claim not to know, well, that's good for you. But I believe people have their representative. It's my duty to inform my people in Oyo Central, for example, this issue of constitutional review is going on. The people in the House of Rep will do that. If you look at what we did in Lagos, the Senate Southwest Constitutional Review, you will notice that you have all speakers of the state houses of assembly represented there. You have traditional rulers, you have NGOs, special interest groups, religious bodies, and so on. So if anybody is interested in what is going on now, you should know that you have right to contribute and you have been put on notice to attend.
What issues were germane to the Southwest that was raised during that hearing?
Yeah, you see, Southwest is just a segment of Nigeria. Issue discussed, the Constitution was not made for Southwest. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Every issue raised there, look, the issue of state creation was discussed. It's a national issue. The issue of women representation is a national issue. The issue of the Nigerian labor, the workers' welfare is a national issue. So many fundamental issues were discussed there. So it wasn't being particular about a section of the country. When you are talking about the national security, about the judiciary, you are not saying we are talking of security of Southwest. No, you are talking about the security of Nigeria. Everybody in Southwest are Nigerians. You have Southerners in every part of Nigeria as well. So the review, what we did in Lagos, was organized to take care of people that live there, not meaning that they are all from Southwest. It's just for the conveniences of people coming around. You can't ask everybody from Shaki, from Ekitipupa, to be coming to Abuja. So let people that are in Southwest come to Lagos. People in North Central, let them go to. They are not going there to discuss regional issues. We were there to discuss national issues.
So we'll take a quick break now. When we come back, we'll discuss how your constituents have felt your impact so far. But don't go away. We still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Only strong men lead, not weak men who don't have knowledge, who don't have capacity, who don't have access.
This is not just talk. This is fireworks.
Why should people elected into office and are being funded by the treasury of the state, and then their salary and allowances will be treated in secrecy?
Fireworks, only on TVC News.
We're glad to have you back. You're still watching Hallowed Chambers, and we still have with us in the studio Senator Yunus Akintunde. Now, before we went on the break, you were discussing about legislative matters. Now, let's move into your constituency proper. How would you say that your constituents, people of your Central Senatorial District, have felt your impact so far in your representation?
Thank you very much. I will break them down into sectors.
Okay.
The legislative duties itself. I think I won't be my own mirror. I'm not to assess myself. But within the last 2 years, I have 3 bills to my credit, and I have 2 motions to my credit. And the bills are well known. When I was campaigning, I told them that I have 4 federal higher institutions in my senatorial district. As of today, the bill upgrading the Federal College of Education Special to Federal University of Education Special. That school is the only one in Nigeria. And what it means is that people that are physically challenged cannot go beyond the College of Education certificate. The bill has passed second reading. We've done public hearing on it. And I'm sure by the time the report comes to the Senate, it will pass the third reading and wait for the presidential assent. The same thing with Federal School of Survey. Federal School of Survey is 106 years old. It's the only one in Black Africa. And people going there can only get diploma. They can only have diploma certificates. They can't have degree certificates. And it's better, well equipped than most institutions in Africa. The bill for that one, the public hearing, upgrading that school to University of Geomatics, has already passed second reading. We've done the public hearing last week, Monday. That was on the 38th of June this year. So I'm awaiting the third reading very soon and so on. The same thing with Federal Polytechnic Ayede in Ogoluwa. That school was established 4 years ago by Presidential Viat. The president pronounced it. There were 6 schools, but the legislative backing was never there. No law guiding the university, no law establishing the Polytechnic, sorry. So the Federal Polytechnic Amendment Act, I propose it. When you come to the issue of education generally, as of today, I have 9 blocks of classroom I've built in my constituency. I've facilitated in my senatorial district, and I've renovated about 9 schools as well in my senatorial district. I've facilitated 4 ICT centers for my people at Oyo Central Senatorial District. There is a concept of 1 mega school per state or whatever. The one we have in Orania Grammar School now is a block of 12 classrooms, 500-seater auditorium, e-library is there. If you go to Iluaje in Afidjo, I facilitated through SDG 3 blocks of 6 classrooms each with toilet facilities and so on. Within the same period, as I'm talking to you, 19 schools, renovation of 19 schools had been awarded within the last few days, and that will be on. I have 118 wards. I have 118 wards in my senatorial district. I came with a policy of 1 ward, 1 solar-powered borehole, which will be 118, and 4 others, making 122. Out of 122 I'm on here, 67 communities are joining their borehole, others are ongoing. And within a couple of weeks, I can tell you that 1 borehole, I will have 122 solar-powered borehole, and which I believe is huge to my credit. I've given almost 9,000 solar street lights to my senatorial district. What I did, I have 11 local governments. I pick 5 health centers in my senate per local government. That is 55 primary health centers have been provided with solar street lights for their security. I pick 55 markets. I pick 55 palaces, royal houses. I have time to nominate 5 churches. We secure them. They are part of the community. I pick 5 markets each from each local government. I'm on here. This could be verified on my website. I have the names and so on. The same thing, the churches, the mosques, the market, the health center. Then the Okada sports, where these Okada people assemble. In the night, they rob and so on. I've provided 7,000, I can tell you, with that over there. Then apart from the street light and what I've mentioned as a whole, there is what I call empowerment. As of today, I can tell you that I've trained and given out over 500 sewing machines. I have the figure here. And you can ask the Nigerian Union of Tailors. I engage the unions when I'm doing my empowerment. The same thing I did for welders. I did the same thing for, I've mentioned welders, grinding machine, people that are grinding peppers and so on. Apart from that, you come to road. When I came in, I have a local government, Oluyole local government. It's one of my local governments. The road leading Ayegun Oleyo is 17-kilometer road. It's a local government road. I wrote to the authority. They approved it that it will be converted to federal road. It has been awarded. Work is ongoing on that. It's a 17-kilometer road. Alabata Elekuru is in Akinyele local government. The road is under rehabilitation as well. Aroro Makinde is in Akinyele, is going on. Ojongbodu police station, Ojongbodu Road in Oyo West, the road is going on there. And as I'm talking to you, another 19 roads has been awarded, not that I'm proposing, has been awarded for rehabilitation in my senatorial district. This is part of what I can remember. I know I have so much here.
But time will not permit us for you to go through all of them. But what has been the feedback so far from your people? Are they delighted? Do you think that you will have their support in the coming?
You see, in agricultural as well, there are some we've done for agriculture. The situation is this. I'm a realist. I'm a natural scientist. Things are very difficult. That's the truth. Things are very difficult these days. And it's not only in Nigeria, it's worldwide. One has traveled far. We know what the situation is everywhere. And where you have economic issue, you see, all these things, I can tell you this, you might laugh. I remember when they took the second reading of the upgrade of Federal School of Survey to University of Geomatics. Because when I normally go online to see people's comments, I can tell you somebody wrote, "Na school we go eat." That is the way the person can think, and you can't blame him. Oyibo said, what you see depends on where you see it. To you, to me, having a university in a community can have a lot of meaning to us. To the man, maybe he has not having his breakfast, and he has no hope of where he will get his lunch, and you are telling him you are upgrading a school to a university, you know his thinking will be quite different. I just feel I've tried my best. I can't be perfect. I'm a human being. I'm not God. And, my policy and thinking in life is to serve my people to the best of my ability. But I compare myself with most people and say that I believe I've done well. That's my thinking. We've tried to empower people in some other aspects, gainful employment and so on. And in agriculture as well, not only people. As I'm talking to you, quite substantial number of fertilizer were given to farmers. Then I used to ask my people, why in rural areas farmers will farm and they will not be rich? Because the inputs and the output are not, you can't gauge the input, the output with what the input is. Why? Because on most time, people plant grains instead of seed, treated seed. That's why in my community, I am saying this, I gave out yam seed, vegetable seed, okra seed, so many seeds, and I've been having a lot of people. People will take photographs on their farm and send to you that this is what I've been doing. We've tried to support market women with little assistance, and we monitor them. And we plan to do more. That's why my slogan before contesting, and up to now, is let's do more. And you can't do more unless you listen to people. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not here to praise myself, but I believe in having feedback from others. I stand to be corrected. The United Nations organized a training for women. I sponsor 4 from my senatorial district to attend that. Senator. And I think they are enjoying what is in there. We have a lot to do more, and I can tell you we'll be doing more.
That is all on our program today. You can watch a repeat broadcast at 7 a.m. on Sunday. You can also see this episode again on TVC News YouTube channel. Do not forget to follow TVC News on all our social media handles to get the latest news and updates. Thank you for watching. I am Tijesu Adeoye. See you next time.